Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future homebuyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of homeownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. License lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender. License number 2011280L. Call for additional details.
Open, Shepard, all alone. Shepard breaks a tackle and into the end zone. Sterling Shepard.
18. Thibodeau got there, got the ball out, scooped it and scored. Touchdown Giants. Kayvon Thibodeau.
Second down, 5. Jones again. Oh, here he goes. He can see the pylon. Touchdown.
Barkley looking for a seam. Great cut. Saquon Barkley in for the touchdown.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Drawing About the G-Men Giants Football Podcast. It's the offseason. Just me again. I'm here by myself. Hopefully, starting next week, I can start incorporate more people in here, but we're going to change things up on the offseason. I'll get to that. You'll see that here today. We're going to branch out more than football for the offseason. Debuting a new segment, Offseason, Off Sport. So we'll get into that later on today. But we're still going to talk the Giants. Don't get that wrong. It is the offseason, but we're still going to talk the Giants. Starting off, Daniel Jones. Right now he's in the process of switching agents. So that's rough. And rumors are right now he is going to want upwards of $45 million a year. I honestly think that's wild. This is just him screaming, franchise tag me, because I believe the franchise tag is what, if you're in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like 36 million. So he's screaming franchise tag me. I understand he's in the process of switching agents, but I mean, he's played good. I never am going to doubt. I'm not going to get mad at someone for wanting to get paid, but you got to know your worth. And I'm kind of disappointed in Daniel Jones because I felt like he was that type of guy, the way he carried himself, the way he spoke. I thought he was a guy that would want to who would be willing to give up some in spite for the team. But this number, I don't think is that. I think around the 30 number, if the Giants can get that benefit, and then also franchise tag a guy like Saquon Barkley, which we'll talk to in a little bit. But I think the franchise tag, that's what we're looking at right now with Daniel Jones. If he's going to want upwards of 45 mil. So I don't know. I think the franchise tag's best. And then also with the Giants, like we've talked about this offseason, it isn't just Daniel Jones's future with the Giants in jeopardy. It's Saquon Barkley as well. So if you are the Giants and you do give him the 45 mil, which I don't see Joe Shane and the Giants doing, I think they'd rather franchise tag him then are you going to be able to pay Saquon Barkley? My hope going into this offseason was that they were able to figure out something around that $30 million for Daniel Jones, and then be able to franchise tag Saquon Barkley, and then be able to have some money to move around with and use in this offseason. But it would at least be something to get something, maybe a wide receiver, some help on the interior O line, some defensive, like a cornerback, bring Bradbury back or something like that. Even though he did cost Philly that game there. But yeah, so I did not expect this from Daniel Jones. I hope that this is just because of him switching agents, that stuff. I hope they do figure stuff out, but we will see. Only time will tell. But this isn't looking good. This isn't what I want to see from the quarterback. I'm disappointed. I thought Daniel Jones would be I want to be a Giant. But you can't expect that from everyone, I guess. All right, let's go. Now we're going to go on to the next segment, QB carousel. We're still going to be talking a little bit about Daniel Jones, but there are a lot of QBs that are potentially on the move this offseason. Daniel Jones being one of them. So let's start it off with Daniel Jones. We're going to take a look. I'm going to predict where they're going to go. Starting off Daniel Jones. I'm a Giants fan. Daniel Jones is staying in New York. I think they're going to franchise tag him or maybe the new agent they can figure something out. But it's hard switching agents. I mean, you're seeing, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit, Lamar Jackson represent himself. You really have to have a good agent in today's NFL. You got to be able to represent yourself. You got to be able to get yourself that money. I mean, and you got to have the right representation for yourself. Daniel Jones, he's in the process finding the right guy, and hopefully they can come to a favorable deal for the Giants. If not, the franchise tag. I think Daniel Jones is going to get franchise tagged, though. And maybe that was just a tactic for him to maybe get the extra franchise tag money rather than like a 30 mil is what I think that's a reasonable number for him without the franchise tag. But then let's go on. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about him. Aaron freaking Rodgers. He went in this darkness retreat. He's been talked about. Everyone's going to continue talking about him. We've talked about him from offseason after offseason. What's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? And I accidentally peeked it right there. Aaron Rodgers is going to stay in Green Bay, guys. This is all smoke and mirrors. He gets more money there. He just likes being talked about. He's I hate to say it, but I think he's just an attention whore. Like every day, everyone's talking about him. Everyone's going to be tuning into the Pat McAfee show next Tuesday or whenever they do that to hear what he has to say. I think this is all a smoke and mirror show. He's having fun. You saw him in the Pro-Am for golf, just joking around. Oh, am I going to the Raiders? Oh, am I going to the Jets? And no, he's going to stay in Green Bay. I mean, he can talk himself into getting to another Super Bowl with the NFC not being as loaded as the AFC with like Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. That line to the Super Bowl is not in his way if he gets into the playoffs. You have some young talent. There were flashes, especially at the tail end of the season, of guys. Christian Watson, he's a beast. Develop him, and then you can get some more guys as well this offseason. You still got that run game. I think Aaron Rodgers just stays in Green Bay, and I think this is just like last year, a big smoke and mirrors show. Ha ha, what's going to happen? Big soap opera, big telenovela that is Aaron Rodgers, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. Maybe something does happen. Maybe he does go to like a San Fran or something. I mean, there's a lot of potentials for trades and that stuff. I mean, and we'll get to one a little bit later on here in Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is going to get traded, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to break that to you right now. I don't see any which way that's going on, but we'll get to that. I'm going to keep teasing it, so stay tuned. We're just going to stick with people I think are staying with Aaron Rodgers there. So let's move on. Jimmy G, I think he's staying. At first, I didn't. During the Brock Purdy stuff, I think Brock Purdy has played his way into at least being the starter going into offseason, but that injury is pretty bad. He said he's not going to San Fran. It looks like he'll end up a Jet or a Raider. Sander, I think this is all just this is all just fun and games for Aaron Rodgers. He's just joking around with the media. Nothing's going to happen. He's going to stay in Green Bay. But for San Fran, I think they stick with Jimmy G. They keep him around one more year. Trey Lance hurt. Brock Purdy hurt. Some guy who's just no. I don't know. No, I don't think so, Sander. I think they stay 1 year. He already knows the system inside and out. He can get to the NFC Championship with him, and be there. Maybe he does play himself out. Maybe they do work in something where he might get a sign and trade something by the deadline if Brock Purdy or Trey Lance is ready to go. Then I think Jimmy G stays in San Fran. Before Brock Purdy got hurt and we learned the severity of Brock Purdy's injury, I think Jimmy G was leaving. But, I mean, he can still leave. But I think with the Brock Purdy injury and also with the Trey Lance injury, you still don't know. I think you just hang on to him one more year, and then you got to make your decision with the young guys there. So, yeah, I got Jimmy G staying. He can go. If he were to move, I do really like Tennessee. Him and Vrabel. Just being the system guy, just handing it off to Derrick Henry, and he's really good at being the game manager, finding those. He can make some of those guys look really good, especially short, and make the plays he needs to. Like we've seen him, he's led the 49ers to the Super Bowl, to the NFC Championship. He's good enough, and with Derrick Henry there, I think that could be. I think Jimmy G could do a lot more than Ryan Tannehill could. All right, let's go on. Finishing with who I think is staying. Franchise tag, Geno Smith. He stays in Seattle. I don't think they're doing anything special. They might draft another guy late, like maybe like an Anthony Richardson or something. But he's flying up the draft board, so I don't know. Maybe something in like a second round or something. But, yeah, franchise tag Geno Smith, I think you do need. If you are Seattle and Pete Carroll, I think you do need to find that young guy because you do have – I mean, Kenneth Walker's a beast. DK Metcalf's still there. Like, you got offense here. You just gonna need to find that guy. And I don't think Geno Smith is that guy, but he's shown he can get you to the playoffs. He's shown he can be serviceable. So keep him around and try and develop that guy, or try and find that guy, that other guy through the draft. All right, and that's doing it for who I think is staying around. Now let's talk about who I think is on the move. Starting off with Derek Carr. If you're a true NFL fan, you've seen the pictures. Derek Carr out with Nathaniel Hackett. Robert Saleh, I think, was there too, right? Or maybe someone else. But, yeah, he was at dinner with all of them. I think he's going to be a Jet. I mean, he met with New Orleans as well. But I think he's going to New York. I think they're there. I mean, I think if you are whatever Aaron Rodgers says or whatever, I don't think if you're the Jets, you hold on to Aaron Rodgers that much. Nathaniel Hackett, yeah, you brought him in to try and get that. But no, you have someone who wants to be there, wants to play for you, is a gamer in Derek Carr. You just need a game manager. We saw that this season. Your defense is good enough to do it. You just need someone who can put some points up on the board, and Derek Carr can give you that. Also, you're going to have Breece Hall coming back eventually. He was great, along with James Robinson back there. And then, obviously, Garrett Wilson, Rookie of the Year. So he has his weapons there. The O-line's going to get healthier as well. So the New York's in a good spot. I think you pull the trigger now on as soon as you can on Derek Carr. Don't wait for Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers is not going anywhere. He's going to keep taking his money in Green Bay. Now, some fun ones before we get to the big one in Lamar Jackson. Some other guys, Baker Mayfield. He was really on loan by the Rams, pretty much. just because Stafford wasn't there. I don't expect him to re-sign there. I have Baker Mayfield going to Las Vegas. Just makes sense. I think he'll do pretty damn well. I think he'll do all right. But as soon as Josh McDaniels gets out of there or something, or I think he will do okay. But I think he inevitably going to go there to die. I think Las Vegas is a terrible franchise. Josh McDaniels is terrible. He should have been fired. Yeah, it was bait to bring Brady in there, but Brady's retired now. No, you're going to get Baker Mayfield, or you're not going to get one of these good guys. Maybe they get Aaron Rodgers. Maybe they get Lamar Jackson. Maybe they do pull off that trade. I don't see that happening. It's a joke there. There's a reason why Derek Carr wanted out. Yeah. So, and I don't expect Josh Jacobs to come back. Devontae Adams. I feel bad for the guy. Maybe he gets traded. I think he's going to want out as well. But all right. Now move on. Former Baker Mayfield teammate Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold. He's shown he's improved from what he was at the Jets in Carolina. Nothing great, but I don't expect. I mean, he's Sam Darnold. I think he can go places and succeed, and I think one of those places is going to be Washington. Eric Bieniemy now. I think Bieniemy there is really just going to take over for Ron Rivera, because I think Ron Rivera is slowly making his way out of the league. So I think that's why he's there. I think Sam Darnold will be a perfect placeholder quarterback, and then I could see them eventually drafting their guy, Bieniemy drafting his guy. Sam Darnold's not going to be the guy. This is going to be, I mean, Washington is slowly turning into what we think, what the Colts have been, just throwing guys. I mean, Carson Wentz, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Heineke has been been the guy, but not really the guy for the majority of the season. So I don't know. Sam Howell, he did look great in that season closer, but is he the guy? I don't know. Maybe that is. Nah, I can't buy that. He's not ready yet. I mean, he looked great. I don't know. I don't know if Sam Howell's the guy, but I think you at least need someone else there. Sam Darnold, he can be a backup if you really need to be. Now, let's get into the piece de resistance. Lamar Jackson. Where do I think Lamar Jackson is going to go? I mean, he's going to have to be traded. I think he is going to get franchise tagged, which sucks. And I feel bad for Lamar. He's representing himself. I mean, I know a lot of times, like, the agents and that stuff, they can get these deals done. And I think because Lamar's representing himself, the collusion and that stuff, like, he's not going to be able to get the deal done as well as. I mean, and granted, good for him. Like, it's good you're able to do that. But I feel like it is hurting him a little bit. But because I don't know if he necessarily knows his own worth. And yeah, and we're talking about Deshaun Watson numbers. That's never gonna happen. The fully guaranteed and all that stuff. That's ridiculous. That's not gonna happen. But I heard it on First Take today. Kyler Murray numbers, yeah. The Ravens should be able to pay that for him. I think a lot of teams are going to want to, like the Jets, I can see them traded for. Washington, like I just said, I think they can trade for him. I think a team like the Falcons as well. I don't know what they're going to be able to trade for wise, but I think they're sneaky. I think really all the NFC South is really wide open, especially with Brady gone. So a lot of teams like the Bucks, like the Panthers, they're going to need someone. I think they can possibly do something. When I left one NFC South team out of that because I'm going to New Orleans. I have them going to the Saints. The Saints almost got Derek Carr. They might still get Derek Carr, but no. I have them getting Lamar Jackson. Giving up, obviously they're gonna have to give up some draft picks. Probably going to have to give up. I mean, Michael Thomas doesn't want to be there. So I think you're going to get rid of him there. And I think that will benefit the Ravens because, I mean, they like Tyler Huntley. I think he'll take over there. And then if you do get Michael Thomas out of there, then you do finally have that number one wide receiver. I think it does benefit them both. So I have Lamar Jackson going to the Saints. Still, Alvin Kamara, I do think what's rough, when you saw Taysom Hill take over as quarterback for the Saints, his rushing ability took away rushes for Alvin Kamara, and that's what really hurt the Saints. Can Lamar Jackson do that? Can they commingle? I think they'll be able to make it work. They might, coaching-wise, I don't know if that'll be an issue, but you still got guys. I mean, you still got Chris Olave, too, if they do only give up Michael Thomas. And then that defense is pretty good as well. So, yeah, I got Lamar Jackson going to the Saints. It should be interesting. A lot of people on the move. Who knows? I could be completely wrong about everyone here, but the big two takeaways: Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay. I don't see him doing. He's just building him up. He just wants to be on camera and talk. Aaron Rodgers isn't going anywhere. He's staying in Green Bay. And Lamar Jackson, I have going to the Saints. Saints get rid of Michael Thomas and some draft picks. Ravens finally get their number one wide receiver, and who knows? Maybe you see the Utes thing in the background. So I like Tyler Huntley. Give him a shot. They'll probably draft someone as well. I do also think the 49ers. For Lamar Jackson-wise, I think the 49ers could be sneaky in there too. Give up a guy like Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, the backup. Trey Lance is mobile and that stuff. He would fit into that. And then also, Ravens, you got a bunch of quarterbacks on rookie contracts. You don't got to worry about this mess with Lamar happening again anytime soon. But okay, so now let's get into it. Off-season, off sport, and we're going to talk about Alabama men's basketball. And I don't want this to turn into a political conversation because it isn't. I just want to be able to say what I'm going to say. But Brandon Miller, he supplied a gun that was in that was within the scene of a murder. It's rough. I mean, it is what it is. He didn't get in trouble. Everyone knew it. No charges or anything for him. But shout out to Brandon Miller. Shout out to him. You're in the public eye. Everyone's critiquing you. Everyone's criticizing you. And you come out and you score 41 on South Carolina. Shout out to you. Really standing up for yourself and showing what's good. And the fact of him having a gun, and the whole gun safety thing is weird. I personally think guns on campus, guns at college, you don't need that. But like I said, I'm a Utah Utes fan. Like we have in the past couple years had Aaron Lowe and Ty Jordan die from gun violence and having a gun, and so it sucks. So that's where I'm coming from. And but he is clean. He was everything is all good as far as that goes. But the real problem I have here with what happened was their head coach Nate Oates. Just basically saying you can't control what a player does outside of the off the court is what he said. Outside of his supervision, you have to you have to be aware. In college, like it's a small community, and the coaches, whether it's I understand that football reigns supreme on Alabama, but you're still up there, especially when Alabama is as good as they are and really have been the past couple of years. Like you're up there, you have control, you know what goes on. And I know that is a policy in a lot of other locker rooms and a lot of other stuff all around the country. No guns is a big policy. Granted, maybe it is just a locker room, but or anything, but it's rough. I'm not going against I don't want to sound like I'm against just bearing arms, but there's a time and a place for it, and a college campus shouldn't be. And especially with what happened at Michigan State very recently, like a college isn't a place for that stuff. And so, yeah, and like I said, it touches home because of Utah and Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe. Like, college isn't a place for that stuff. Granted, no matter which way you stand on the right to bear arms, yeah, am I against 18-year-olds having a gun? No. But is a college, is a dorm, is that place okay for them to have a gun? I don't think so. But Alabama, regardless, shout out Brandon Miller. All the haters at your throat. You go in, drop 40, and Alabama's for real this year. I'm coming out saying it, starting off Offseason off Sport Strong with a hot take, with a strong take. And Alabama, I'm gonna have them going to my Final Four. Right now they're my national champs. I have Alabama winning it all. I don't know what they are. Let me check real quick. I'm gonna throw some money on them to win it all right now. Or let's see what they got. I'd imagine it's probably good. Going on. They're gonna win it all. Alabama winning it all. He's a beast. Brandon Miller. And it's fitting. Like I think it's this year where you got Wembanyama. People think college basketball is kind of dead right now because it is so wide open. But Brandon Miller's the best player. I think he's gonna. And what Nate Oates, what he said, was it wrong? Yeah, but he's a hell of a basketball coach. So I like Alabama, even though with all this controversy, I like them being the bad boys and going and getting at least to the Final Four. But I think they have the ability to win the national championship because Brandon Miller is that good. So, all right. And that's going to do it for John About the G-Men. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow me at Big JC Ace on Twitter. We went live on Twitter, on my Twitter for the first time. Shout out all the people watching there. And also make sure you follow me on Twitch at Big JC Ace as well over there. Went live there for the first time as well. And obviously Clovercrest Media as well. Make sure you follow them on Facebook. John About the G-Men as well. Follow on Facebook. And Clovercrest, also YouTube and YouTube as well for John About the G-Men podcast and Clovercrest Media. Make sure you check out clovercrestmedia.com for a bunch of other great podcasts. And big shout out to Chris Sawyer at Annie Mac Home Mortgage for sponsoring today's episode. I'm Big Jace, and we'll see you next time for more John About the G-Men. Peace out, everyone.
Open, Shepard, all alone. Shepard breaks a tackle and into the end zone. Sterling Shepard.
Thibodeau got there, got the ball out, scooped it and scored. Touchdown Giants, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Second down, 5, Jones again. Oh, here he goes. He can see the pylon. Touchdown.
Barkley looking for a seam. Great cut. Saquon Barkley in for the touchdown.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Bird, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.